Welcome to the Averills of Chipping, Norton, Ipswich, and beyond. Lives Recast, video number 6. Roots and Responsibility, Nathaniel Averill's Family Journey. Nathaniel Averill was born at Topsfield, Massachusetts on 13th of October in 1664, the first of William and Hannah's children to be born at Topsfield. Through Nathaniel's marriage to Sarah Howlett, Nathaniel became brother-in-law to his cousin Ephraim Wildes, as Ephraim married Sarah's sister, Mary Howlett. And this is a reminder of how entwined Topsfield families were, both by blood and then by marriage. After the death of his father, William, in 1691, Nathaniel stepped into increased responsibility. In July of 1693, he joined his mother Hannah and his brother John in selling the family's 3-acre house lot in Ipswich to Francis Crompton. Not long after, he and his brothers demonstrated a tight familial bond when they entered into a compassionate yet legal agreement, ensuring that their mother, Hannah, would be cared for by all of the Averill boys if her elderly care became too much for Nathaniel's brother John, who was Hannah's primary caretaker. Nathaniel made his home on the Brad Street grant, which was paid off in full by the 1st of February in 1692. His investment in Topsfield deepened in 1696 when he and his brother John, together with their neighbor, wait for it, Jacob Town, purchased land from Thomas and Ann Putnam for £15, which was located near what is now Gregory Street. It's difficult to say with certainty why the Averills and Jacob Town entered into a purchase agreement with Thomas and Ann Putnam, but it likely represented a mutually beneficial opportunity for all three families. The Averills and Jacob already owned land in the immediate area, and Jacob's property directly bordered the Putnam land along today's Gregory Street. Acquiring this parcel would have expanded Jacob Town's holdings while keeping his household close to those of his siblings. Since the Town and Averill names were not legally stained in the same way as their Topsfield, Wildes, and St. relatives, both families retained full legal rights to buy and sell property. Furthermore, the actual land itself was desirable. It offered good pasture, proximity to the Ipswich River, fertile soil, and a useful access point. Nathaniel and Sarah raised a large family. Nathaniel Jr., born in 1700, Jacob, 1702, followed by Abigail in 1704, Sarah in 1706, 1707 Old Style, Miriam 1709, and Jeremiah 1714. Whether or not there are additional children born to Nathaniel and Sarah is unknown yet to me, but I will certainly keep you posted if I find more children. However, their children grew up during a period of rebuilding and expansion in a town still healing from the turbulence and fear of the early 1690s. Nathaniel remained active in Topsfield's civic life, working alongside his cousin and brother-in-law, Ephraim Wildes. He undertook several important responsibilities. Together, they served on a committee to inspect and assess fences, an essential task in a farming community where property and pasture boundaries could make or break a season's work. In 1702, the two men were chosen to help renew boundary lines between the cow common and the proprietor lots. 2 years later, in June of 1704, they again worked side by side on the committee appointed to establish the line between Topsfield and Boxford. These assignments show not only their reliability and reputation, but also their companionship. Their work required walking the land together, surveying, comparing notes, and settling disputes. One might wonder what conversations Ephraim and Nathaniel shared about the grief they carried and the events of 1692. Did they speak of how Ephraim was faring now that his mother was gone? Did they reflect on what the future might hold for their families, or on the emotional weight Ephraim and his father had endured? Perhaps their talks touched on the needs of their aging parents, the strain of daily labor, and the practical challenges that lay ahead. They may have even discussed how the Averills could help Ephraim and his wife manage their large farm until Ephraim's sons were old enough to work the fields. In 1711, Nathaniel further demonstrated that the community placed trust that he was fair and objective when he was selected as a juror at the Ipswich court, another civic duty that required judgment, fairness, and community trust. Life continued its steady course. Sarah, his wife of many decades, died first, passing in July of 1729. Nathaniel lived on for more than 2 decades, witnessing his children grow into adulthood and watching his community evolve. He died on the 3rd of April in 1751, having spent nearly 87 years of his life rooted in the soil, kinship ties, and civic rhythms of colonial life at Topsfield.